Right atrial tracing. In this right atrial tracing, the scale is set 0 to 25 millimeters mercury. Quantitative assessment of atrial tracings include commenting on three values: the mean pressure and the pressure of the A and V wave. Mean pressure can be estimated by imagining a line through the middle of the waveform tracing, in which you would estimate only half of the area under the waveform curve would be filled in. In this tracing, the mean pressure is estimated here with a pressure value of 3. The normal value for mean right atrial pressure is between 1 and 6 millimeters mercury. The A wave represents atrial contraction, and as such can be identified by its relationship to the P wave on the electrocardiogram tracing. In this tracing, the A wave is present here with a value of 5. It corresponds to the P wave above on the electrocardiogram tracing. The V wave represents passive filling of the right atrium during ventricular relaxation. This can be identified as waveform associated with the T wave in the electrocardiogram tracing. In this tracing, the V wave is present here with a value of 3. It corresponds to the T wave above on the electrocardiogram tracing. Qualitative assessment of the right atrial tracing has several components. First is to comment on the waveform dominance, which is the waveform with the highest pressure value. A right atrial tracing in normal physiology is A wave dominant. Further qualitative assessment includes comment on the other components of the right atrial tracing waveforms, which are the X and Y descents. The X descent is a combination of atrial relaxation and X prime, which is a ventricular contraction which results in an apical displacement of the tricuspid valve, creating a relative negative pressure in the right atrium. The X descent occurs between the QRS complex and the T wave on the electrocardiogram tracing. The Y descent represents right atrial emptying from opening of the tricuspid valve during ventricular diastole. The Y descent occurs after the T wave on the electrocardiogram tracing. In normal physiology, there is a C wave present after the A wave and midway on the X descent. The C wave is a small positive deflection that represents tricuspid valve closure. This is not typically seen in right heart catheterization tracings. Atrial tracings can typically be recognized by the presence of 2 positive and 2 negative waves for each cardiac cycle.